Assalamualaikum to our respective lecturer, Madam Raihan. Today, our group will be presenting Understanding Counselling Theory, which is the Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. But before we start, we would like to introduce ourselves first. My name is NAJLA.
My name is NAJWA.
My name is EISHANAZ.
My name is AAQILAH.
My name is SHAHEERA HUSNA.
My name is HANISHA.
My name is NABILAH. My name is NABILAH.
My name is SITI NURBAHIYAH.
So now I'll start our presentation with the history of the given theory. The theory that was given to us is the Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, or REBT. It was created by Albert Ellis in 1955 in the United States. Ellis, who had initially been trained as a psychoanalytic, was disappointed with the results of this kind of therapy. He therefore spent some time experimenting with different types of treatment before merging his early interest in a number of professions to establish REBT. Ellis initially called his approach rational therapy, RT, to emphasize its rational and cognitive component. To prove to his critics that it did not neglect emotions, he changed the term to rational emotive therapy in 1961. Then Ellis renamed the approach Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, REBT, more than 30 years later in 1993 to convince detractors that it did not neglect the behavior. However, in Ellis's book called Albeit Some in Embryonic Form, The Pivotal Role of Cognition in Psychological Disturbance, it does not address current REBT aspects such as its constructivist and postmodern components. Next, I'll pass to the next presenter.
Firstly, the rational beliefs are viewed as being flexible, true to reality, logical, and supportive of one's own relationships with oneself. With it, irrational beliefs are seen as the root of psychology disorders and at odds with reality. It is also illogical and destructive to one's own relationships. Back to the REBT theory, there are 4 types of rational beliefs, which are flexible preference, which is I want to be approved, but I don't have to be. Next, non-awfulizing beliefs, which is it's bad to be disapproved, but it isn't the end of the world. Next, high frustration tolerance beliefs, which is it is difficult to face being disapproved, but I can tolerate it and it's worth tolerating. Lastly is acceptance beliefs. Next, the ABC paradigm of psychology disturbance and wellness is promoted by the REBT. To the proven, the letter A represents an activating event that may be direct or indirect. B is for a belief that may be irrational, and C is for the effects of having those beliefs, which may be emotional, behavioral, and or cognitive. As a result, rather than causing C's, A's help to create them, and B's are considered to be a key but not the soul. So B's are the determinants of C's. Lastly, the REBT philosophy tells us that people are capable of both rational and irrational thought. For instance, the ease with which we convert our powerful wishes into demands will raise the possibility, but the propensity for irrational thought may be biological founded. It can also be muted or even frustrated by the environment. Next, I'll pass it to the next presenter.
Now I'll talk about the techniques and skills used in the theory. The first technique is problem-solving techniques. It can help one make wise decisions instead of rash decisions. One skill that can be considered is being assertive. Assertive means to communicate truthfully without hurting others. Hence, it can enhance social skills and it can also prevent conflict by active listening. The second one is cognitive restructuring techniques. This can help improve the way one thinks, that is by having a better perspective about negative situation. For example, it is imagining yourself in others people's shoes. The third one is coping techniques. This can be done through meditation, deep breathing, and relaxation. This can help this can take one's mind off something negative, and it can help someone to manage their emotions well. And by doing so, writing down those experiences can help which is to see how much progress that has been done. Next, I'll pass it to the next presenter.
All right, now I will continue for the other three techniques that we found for this theory. So the other technique that can be used is acceptance. There are a few types of acceptance, and one of it is the unconditional self-acceptance, which differs that clients have to fully accept themselves, including their imperfections and mistakes. The next one is the unconditional other acceptance. In rational emotive behavior therapy, it involves accepting other without judgment or criticism. Moving on, we also found various emotive techniques that can also be used in this therapy theory. This technique focuses on transforming our belief system for positive change, and it also involves reframing our language by avoiding forceful words such as must or should. From this, we can reduce the rigidity of the client's belief and create more flexibility in our thinking. And for the last technique is disputation. So every client can challenge and question their irrational beliefs by examining the evidence and validity of their thoughts, and they can also start to replace them with more rational and self-accepting beliefs. Not only that, during the disputation process, the therapist may use direct method to challenge the client's beliefs. Therapists may ask about the client's belief directly and encouraging them to think about it and consider it in alternative perspective. That's all from me. Next presenter.
Okay, thank you, Inas. As for the application of theory, we have identified 3 problems. So for the first problem, which is depression, the client uses a technique named disputation technique, and this technique will have the client to look from different perspectives to help them view the problem as a positive thing. For example, this client has divorced parents where she saw her parents divorce in front of her eyes. And from that traumatic past event, she believed that she won't have a happy relationship when she marries someone and must divorce just like how her parents did. But when she applies this disputation technique, it helps her to remove the negative thoughts about marriage and slowly have the desire to get married again. And from there, she will receive new feeling where she only has a positive mindset, and she is no longer fear when someone is talking about marriage to her. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, so for our next problem is coping technique. Okay, so this client, Sarah, claims to have anxiety because of a traumatic event where she messed up her presentation and people were laughing at her. For the next point, Nisha will explain it.
Okay, so moving on to the next point. So she holds the belief that she will always embarrass herself and be judged by others during presentations, leading to unstable emotions, racing thoughts, sweating, and trembling. However, Sarah has developed effective coping strategies to manage her anxiety, approach presentations with a more positive mindset. As a result, she experienced a sense of accomplishment, reduced anxiety, and increased self-confidence when giving presentation. So next, moving on to the next slide. So this is about addictive behavior. So the client's activating event was being in a social gathering where there was peer pressure to drink alcohol. She believed that alcohol would make her more confident, comfortable, and sociable, thinking it was necessary to fit in socially. So the consequences that she has faced after drinking alcohol included increased socialization and reduced inhibitions. However, she also realized the negative outcomes of excessive drinking, such as impaired judgment and potential regrets. So for the third point is to change her belief. She challenged it by examining the long-term effect of excessive drinking and exploring alternative ways to boost her confidence and socialize without relying on alcohol. Throughout cognitive restructuring, she has developed a more balanced perspective and realized that alcohol isn't the only way to connect with others. As a result, she experienced improved self-esteem, healthier social interactions, and reduced reliances on alcohol for confidence. So next, I'll be passing on to the next presenter.
To continue, there are three criticisms in rational emotive behavior therapy. The first one is fail to deal with specific disorders or mental disorders that were caused by biochemical problems. For example, someone with mental disorders due to genetics who choose this therapy will not get treated. The second one is the therapy is too philosophical than scientific. However, it was proven that the therapy actually works after putting the theory and models to the test. The last one is the therapy can be harsh because for some patients, it can be hard to admit or challenge their irrational thoughts. For example, a patient failed to challenge or find their deep feelings. Next, I'll pass to Bahia.
Thank you, Nabila. So as a conclusion from this assignment, what we get is we have gained new interest and new knowledge about the rational emotive behavior therapy or REBT theory. Such as we know the background of the theory, we know who created the theory and others. And so for the next part is all the methods and techniques will be useful for us all the methods and techniques will be useful for us as future educators to help our clients or students to resolve the issue. For example, like a teacher and counselor at school, they will help their students to solve our students' problem. So I guess that's all from us. Thank you so much for listening.